Welcome to tonight's webinar, Lexicons, Dictionaries, and Encyclopedias. This is part of our Mastering Your Library series, part 2 of 5. And I'm excited about this particular webinar. Take a look at tonight's topics. We've got looking at lexicons and word study dictionaries. We're going to look at over 60 resources, and we're going to show you how to use them effectively. It's very exciting. So I've organized them into the introductory. We've got Hebrew and Greek. You can see that there. Concise, in-depth, and theological. And we'll show you how to create collections, the role of prioritization, search strategies, and other categories. Then we're going to take a brief look at Bible dictionaries and encyclopedias. And like I said, there's over 60 resources being explored. 41 in the first category of lexicons and word study dictionaries, and 19 in the Bible dictionaries and encyclopedia category. Then we're going to take a look at some resources, building your vocabulary, and then other resources. So that first count may be a little inaccurate, but you get the idea. So a lot to do here. We are in July 23rd, Mastering Your Library, Lexicons, Dictionary, and Encyclopedias. We've got training 3 times a month, and look at August. Very exciting month of August. We've got the first Monday, Studying Important Doctrine with Logos, How to Overcome Sin. Very practical, very helpful. We all definitely need this webinar, and I'm looking forward to getting that ready. Then the third week of August 20th, we're going to start our first of 2-part series, Christ in the Old Testament. This is going to be thrilling to see all the things that we're going to see there. And then if you ever want to see how the Old Testament is connected to the New Testament, it's done through Christ. And then the fourth Monday, August 27th, we'll continue in our Mastering Your Library series, looking at theological resources like theology books and doctrinal books and things like that. Sign up at LearnLogos.com/webinar. For those of you who are new, our webinars come at a discount. We retail them at $9.99, but we give them to you for $4.99, and that usually includes 1 to 2 hours of training. The webinars are a great complement to the training CDs. If you don't have the training CDs, you got to get these. It's very comprehensive. In fact, the most comprehensive training on the internet. The orange and green CD cover every feature of Logos 4.0. And that includes all the updates. In fact, we have a guarantee here at LearnLogos.com that as long as Logos keeps updating version 4, when they make updates, we post those videos for free to you. We'll email you and let you know. So your videos always stay up to date with us at no extra cost. The blue CDs will cover 11 Bible study lectures, over 130 book overviews, showing you the various books that are in your library as well as books you can add to your library. And it's a great way. It's organized by a Bible study method, so that'll be very helpful as well. The second blue CD actually helps you apply the Logos technology for the purpose of studying the Bible and preparing a sermon. So we're going to take you through prayer, word study, cross-referencing, building a biblical outline, making observations, all that good stuff, step by step, and it comes in 2 formats. One is the traditional passive, just simply click play and watch the video. The second type is also included, and that's the interactive videos. It simulates the Logos program. So in the video, I'll say click here, and you click here, and the video proceeds. Fallahee has a question. Will that include the new features that are in the beta relating to Faith Life? Faith Life is kind of a whole different set of resources, and though we'll be certainly talking about Faith Life and some of the resources in there. In fact, one of the resources tonight we'll be actually talking about. And Chris just made a comment, says Christ in the Old Testament will be awesome. Yes, it will. And let's see. Terry want to know, what does raise your hand button do? Well, normally it just raises your hand so I know you have a question, but I'll see those questions here. So you can ignore the raise the hand, just type your question and it'll come right to me. That's the best way to do it. All right, and that email will come out within 24 hours if there are no technical difficulties, and you'll get an email announcement for tonight's webinar. So if you don't have those videos, go ahead to LearnLogos.com, get the 50% off discount, and you can even download those as well. It's 17 hours of training, 305 videos. You can't go wrong. And like I said, it's a great comment to the webinars because it will, it's at your pace, very slow, very steady, where the webinars, we're moving moving, we're shaking, we're doing a lot of things, a lot of questions, and it can be a lot of information. So just a quick reminder, we're gathering and deciding on cities to go start some training. So if you want LearnLogos to come to your city and do training, email me at miniseminars@LearnLogos.com. And in the subject line, put down your city and state, and that would be great. Okay, and let's see here. I just had a question I want to respond to. Okay, so let's go to the next slide and get ourselves started here. Okay, so let's begin. Oh, one more thing. Starting a few weeks ago, we started a new tradition here at LearnLogos.com for the webinars, and that tradition is giving you, those who purchase the webinar, will get a personal book of all my notes, all my links. And for a webinar like this one, this is absolutely essential, because I have, as you're going to see here as I scroll down, I have I have the whole outline organized, and you can see that at the left with the personal book builder. And so you'll be able to integrate this right into your Logos, which is wonderful. And you can see the details of the outline, and then all the links are included. So because we're covering so many resources, over 60 of them, I include the link to Logos.com. So when you click on the link, it'll open up the Logos website right to the resource. And if you already own the book, you just click Own It. And if you own the book, Logos will open up right to that word that I'm talking about. And Barry just chimes in. He says, the personal book is worth getting, especially since you get a list of recommended resources. Absolutely. And Michael said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love this feature. So, yeah, it's a lot of work to put together, but in the end, it's a win-win for all of us. And Anita says, how do you integrate the personal book resource to Logos? Good news. When you purchase the webinar, there's a set of instructions that you download, and it walks you through how to do this. In fact, I give you the book cover image that you can add right there. I give you all the details that you need in your book, and it's a pretty straightforward process. I'll just take a moment to show you. What you'll do is you'll go to Tools, Personal Books, and you're going to click Add Book. And when you add book, you're going to get a screen like this, but of course it'll be all empty. And in my Word document, I'll give you all this information that you see here. I'll even give you the picture, as I said. And then what you're going to do after that is simply add the file. And so you'll click Add File, navigate right to the docx file that I've already pre-formatted for you, and then you simply build the book. It really is that simple. It takes just a few minutes, and you are up and running. So very exciting to have that resource for you. So I'll be using that throughout the webinar. And let's see. I got a lot of questions here. Let's see. Yep. Oh, yeah. James just wanted to remind everyone, if you have two computers, Logos does not sync up personal books, so you'll have to load that book on both computers. Great question. And Arvis says, does it matter which computer I'm on when using it? No. Just make sure, whether it's a Mac or PC, that you just follow those setup instructions and you're good to go. All right, and I think that answers all the questions. All right, let's begin now with our presentation, and let's go back to the PowerPoint real quick. And let's talk about word lexicons and word studies. Now, tonight's resources really are those books and tools related to word study. And one thing that's nice is that this is a limited set of books. Now, admittedly, if you bought all 60 books, you're talking over $1,000 of resources. And you don't really need every single resource I'm going to show you. However, knowing what this list is and having that finite list can guide you in your book buying decisions. And there are going to be some critical books that you absolutely must have. So let's begin with the first category, the introductory. And I'm starting here because some of you all of you will have these introductory resources. But as we move to the next categories of concise and in-depth and theological and so forth, you may not have those. So don't be frustrated, but look and learn what these books can do for your Bible study, and then make that buying decision accordingly. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with the most basic resources there are, and that is the Strong's Lexicon. And this is included. Oh yeah, as we're going through this, very important, when you go to the Logos website, always check at the right in this recommendation section. check there and always click the more to see what collections this book is included, because you may find that the book you want may be part of a collection you already purchased or a part of another collection you would like to purchase. And so you can save yourself money whenever you buy a book part of a collection. So try to avoid buying a book by itself. Always try to buy a book inside a collection. Okay, so this is the Enhanced Strong Lexicon. Now, let me go ahead and open up so we can take a look at it. And we're going to go look at some of these key words. And I've highlighted to kind of show you the elements and the data inside a book. You probably have never taken the time to really look at what is all the information in a dictionary. But this is so critical to do, because knowing what's in the resource will tell you, okay, if I'm going to buy an additional resource, let's make sure it gives me additional information or it's a better use of the existing information. So in the Strong's, believe it or not, even though the definitions are very simple, it has some really helpful links. For example, it gives you here the Strong's number. And then it gives you the Hebrew word, so you can see that, and then it gives you the transliteration and a way of pronouncing that. In this case, Av. Now, there's two ways to pronounce Hebrew W's with a W, Av, or Av with a V. So just be aware of that. It also gives you the morphology, that it can be a noun, masculine. And then it has two links to two other dictionaries, the Theological Word Book of the Old Testament, which we'll look at later, and also the GK numbering system, which is Zondervan's equivalent to the Strong's number. Then it gives you how many occurrences. Now this is pretty handy to just get a quick reference and go, wow, 1,215 times. But keep in mind, Logos can do a lot of these things for you, but it's nice when all that information has been organized into one resource. Then it's going to show you how it was translated in the, for example, the AV, Authorized Version, translates as father as 1,205 times of the 1,215, chief twice, families twice, desire once, and fatherless, plus 369 times as forefathers. And then you'll notice I colored in red each of the different definitions. Now notice the way it's organized. You've got 1 father, 2 of God as father, 3 head, 4 ancestor, and then you've got this in yellow, 4A and 4B. So be aware that there's these outlines that are built into the text. So just because you see 1, 2, 3, 4 through 9, sometimes there's sub-definitions within the definitions. And I see that Susan's got a question again. She wants to know what the GK is. GK, which is the Goodrich Kohlenberger, is a numbering system put out by Zondervan. It's just basically, instead of using Strong's, they're going to use this numbering system. So it's a different numbering system, and it does show up in the Zondervan resources. So if you're not aware of that, that can really throw you off, because, for example, this is GK3. Not Strong's number 1. And so if you don't realize it's a GK number, you may mistaken it for a Strong's number and therefore cite the wrong number. And that can cause real problems if you're in a Bible study or you're preaching or if you're just trying to do some word studies. So always know what number you're looking at, and you can just simply float your mouse and you can see that there. Okay, so now one of the things I want to do just right away is show you some features that we can use with dictionaries and so forth. So what I'm going to do, the first one, this is probably very critical. I'm going to click up here, these 3 circles. Now, whenever you open up a dictionary in your Logos program, you want to check the following settings. So I'm going to click on the 3 circles and make sure that links to open panels, let me do that again, links to open panels is selected. And you want to do this for every single dictionary, lexicon that you open up. Now, why is this important? Let me show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to a place where there is a Bible cross-reference. Let's see if we can do one here. I'm not sure if they're going to give me an example. Let's see. I was hoping to find a Bible verse in here. And Strong's typically doesn't always, a lot of times doesn't give you a cross-reference. So let's see if we can find one here. Well, we can still do it another way. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go down here and let's see this in action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Theological Word Book by clicking on the link. And we'll go here real quick. All right. And I'm going to turn off this highlighting so you can see more clearly what exactly is going on. Okay, now I'm going to close down the TWOT real quick again. Okay, so you can see that the TWOT 4A is turned off. And when I click on the 4A, my dictionary of biblical languages opened up. And in fact, let me click on that one more time. And you'll notice that the TWOT has been opened up right here. Actually, it's not, I'm in a dictionary of biblical languages, but you notice that the section 4A is opened up here in this top, this little index, because it's indexed to the TWOT. Do you see what's happened over at the left? My 4A got highlighted. So when a resource opens up, Logos looks at this white box and says, hey, is the information in the white box anywhere in my resource? Okay, so anything that's in this space is now going to be highlighted. So if I go, for example, to GK number, all right, you can see the GK number 3 is highlighted. This is really powerful. In fact, let's do this next one. Let's go back to one resource, and I'm going to put in 2553. And you can see that down below. This may not work easily. Sometimes it's hard to just jump to numbers. Yeah, that won't work. So we'll do some more in the future here, but the idea is, let's try 1A. Yeah, there we go. So now I switch to 1A. Notice that 4A is turned off, but down below 1A is turned on. Now, why is this important? Well, as we go further into more in-depth articles, having your Bible cross-reference appear, the passage you're studying, or other things highlight visually for you, that will help you more easily find the information in the dictionary. And we'll see that in the moments to come. So I'm going to, since I've opened up the DBL, I'm going to click that, links to open panels. All right. So let's now, let's do one more feature that's really important. And that is adding notes. Now, this is something that's really powerful in Logos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the Strong's number 1. Now, when I do that, you're going to see a menu appear, and it has several options. We've got selection 1, reference to the GK number, reference to the Strong number, reference to the TWOT, and the head word. And I'm going to click on head word, which is the Hebrew word. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a note to untitled notes. And what we're going to do is we're going to relabel this note, and we're just going to type in father, okay, which is what Av is. And we'll just put a little note down here, and we'll just put in father, and we're going to put in, let's see here, we're going to put in father. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is I'm going to just close this note, and I'm going to show you another feature in Logos at the same time. So I'm going to click back to my resource, and I'm going to hit my right arrow button. So let me go ahead and do that. And you'll notice that I've switched dictionaries, and sure enough, there's a note here, father, father, at the Hebrew word. In fact, I'm going to go to the right again. Every dictionary that has the Hebrew word now has my note, father, father. So now this one didn't show up quite yet, and there's a reason for that. And it could be that it's a little bit, oh yeah, this is an E4 resource, so we don't want to use that one. Some of those features are limited on E4 if you have those from the earlier days. Okay, but there's our note again, father, father, and so forth. And there's our note down here, father, father. So you no longer have to make a note in every dictionary. You make that dictionary just once, and that will allow you to have that note in every dictionary going forward. So that's really exciting and makes it easy. So you can create one note, but you must attach it to that head word. I recommend the head word. You certainly could do it to the selection or reference, but the head word is the way to go, and go with the Hebrew word or the Greek word. Okay, got a question. Felix asked the question, what if I click the TWOT and I open another dictionary? That's exactly right. The links in the dictionaries, let me turn that off. The links in the dictionaries will allow you to basically go to another place. That's what they're there for. Just like the Bible references. You click here, you click on the dictionary, or in this case, the Bible reference, and it opens it up. And here's a good example of that, links to open panels working. I clicked on Genesis 24, it opened up, and now my verse passage is opened up. If I switch to Joshua 14:1 and go over there, now my Joshua 14:1 is highlighted. So the links are there. Now, if you don't have the dictionary, and I think this is where, Felix, you may be going, if you don't have the dictionary, then the links won't be enabled or they won't open the resource. So having those resources turns those links on and makes the linking possible.